Alright, I'm sorry about that. The frames were skipping. Still kind of is. Anyways, so you know, I had to get started, start sorting out my cart, and that same guest comes up and asks to talk to the manager on duty. Normally, that's not a good thing because, you know, if a guest wants to talk to the manager, normally they have some kind of plan, or they're going to try to start something to try to get their own way. So, you know, the lady, she seen my name tag, she called me by name, and she was like, "Can you get the manager on duty? I would like to speak to him." So I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be great. So I call the manager on duty. I'm sorting out the stuff to make sure that she doesn't get pissed, because she seems like she has an attitude. She's trying to be polite about it, but she seemed like she was going to have an attitude. So I called the manager on duty, and I stayed there to make sure she don't get pissed off anymore, because Lord knows I would hate to have to deal with that. So anyways, I get there, or the manager on duty gets there, and starts talking to her. You know, it starts off nice. Like, the guest is like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah." The manager on duty is like, you know, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah," and then the guest proceeds to start talking to the manager starts talking to the guest about, like, our protocol and stuff, and the guest starts bringing it up. She's like, "You know, I want to look at this stroller, but I can't because it's tied down." She goes, "Can you pull that down so I can, you know, look at it, see how it is, and make sure it's going to be something I want?" And the LOD starts to explain that we can't do that because the strollers and all that and display items, they are not actually put together like they should be. They're just assembled just for looks. They're not supposed to be functionable at all. So that means that if we did do that and the lady was pushing the stroller, it, you know, fell apart, and one of the pieces just happened to accidentally, you know, get stabbed, like she gets stabbed by it, like it literally runs through her gut or something, we take a hit for that. In fact, she could sue us for that if something like that ever happened. And so that's why they tie it down. It's because it's supposed to be for looks, and then, you know, if you don't like it, that's why you have the option to return it. Well, the guest wasn't really wanting to cooperate. She goes, "Well, that's bullshit." She goes, "You know, at Babies R Us," she goes, "You know, do you have the option to actually pull the stroller down and push it around and see if you like it or not?" And once again, the LOD, she's like, "Well, I'm sorry, but we can't do that because it's against protocol." And she tries to explain. And then the guest proceeds to get rude, even ruder, and it's like, "Well, is there another manager I can talk to?" Like, she's trying her damnedest to get that stroller down. And when she says, "I'm sorry, we cannot do that. It is against rules. We will lose our job. The store will be shut down if something like that happened. If, like, an incident happens." And so the lady, she finally gets pissed off and tells the LOD, she goes, "Well, fine, I am not shopping here today. You can have my stuff, and I'm leaving." And so she left all of her stuff behind, and that's going to be the point of the story here. One thing, it doesn't, much like working in fast food, it doesn't pay to be a complete asshole like that, because a good example is when you work in fast food, if you're going to be an asshole, like you're not going to tip, you're going to be disrespectful, you're going to be rude, they're going to treat you like shit, and they're not going to help you at all. In fact, they're going to make you wait the longest because you're not worth their time. They could be making someone else happier, doing their job, and you could just sit there and fucking suffer. It don't even matter. And the same thing happens, you know, Target, at Walmart, you know, it don't matter where you go. If you act like a bitch, you're going to be treated like a bitch. And, you know, I guarantee if the lady ever walked in again and the same LOD was there, she would, you know, she wouldn't help her out any way possible. In fact, we would probably just fucking ignore this chick. Be like, you know, you're disrespectful last time. You know, you made it difficult for us to do what we were supposed to because you wasted our time. You were disrespectful. You left your stuff behind. You pitched a fit and you just fucking walked out. So, honestly, like, this is like a lesson, just, you know, something to think about. You know, have a little respect because even at other Targets and other places in retail in general, there's a lot that goes on that people don't see. Like, there's a lot. And hell, just because you don't get what you want doesn't mean you pitch a fit and say, you know, fuck this, you can clean up this mess because I'm not putting it back. No, we remember that. We will remember that, and if we see you again, we're not going to help you. In fact, we might have to ask you to leave the store again because we are afraid that you're going to, you know, start a problem with somebody. Because the first sign of disrespect or violence towards a team member, you're going to be booted out the door. They're going to say, goodbye, have a nice day. And I wish that was a joke, but Target takes the treatment of their employees, they take it serious. They don't play games. So, you know, if you think you're going to be a complete dick to someone at Target, oh fuck no, they're going to escort you out the door. And then if you try to say, well, I'm a guest, I'm a paying customer, blah blah blah, you can't do this to me, they'll call the cops. They'll take it to the point of calling the cops and saying this person is trespassing. And when you get caught, you will probably go to jail, most likely, because you were warned and you were asked to vacate the premises. So now, the second story. This is something I dealt with yesterday. So, on a common basis, I am supposed to stay strictly in market. Now I say I'm supposed to stay strictly in market because that's where they normally have me assigned. And I do a lot of market. Like, I do a lot of market, but because we have been understaffed, there haven't been enough people to fill every position, I've been having to step up and work in other departments too. Like, normally I would work in, you know, 3 departments in one night within an 8-hour shift. I would work electronics, I would work hardlines, and I would work market. But, you know, there was sometimes, like last week and, you know, beginning of this week, I really haven't been able to put my full attention to market. Because they say, like, they tell us that we need to get our guest ratings up, which is helping the guests get out, like, quicker when they're checking out, when they need any assistance, helping them find their items. You know, it's assisting them in any way possible. So if someone is asking for help in another department and the other person is already helping another guest, you can't just say, oh, well, too bad, you know, the hardlines person's busy, you can wait. No, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to assist them. That's part of my job. That is like 50% of my job, at least, is helping the guest. And yesterday, I'm not even going to call him a team member because he doesn't play as if he's in a team. He does very little, and then he expects everybody else to pick up, you know, what he didn't do and do their job on top of that. The best way to put this is, someone who's supposed to be a team member tried to sell me out, say he didn't do this, he didn't do that. He didn't check this, or, you know, he literally tried to sell me out. And that really pissed me off because he has his job that he's supposed to do, and then I have my job that I'm supposed to do. But when I'm having to clean up after him because he isn't doing something, it's bullshit. And yet they come to me and they're like, well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? They told me flat out that I shouldn't have to come in and do the morning person shift or do their morning person's work. Like, they're supposed to take care of that before I even get there, before I'm even on my way to work, honestly. But with this guy, here's what he does. He orders for a 4-foot section. If you don't know what 4 foot is, I'm going to ask that you please get a ruler or something and measure this out. And it's probably like 7 foot high. But there's only 5 shelves in between that. So you have like a foot and like just basically a foot. So it's 5 different shelves. And these items, these are not tiny little items. These are actually pretty bulky. Alright. So basically, it's a lot of stuff. It is a lot of oh, wait, right. That's right. It's not a lot of stuff. It's not a lot of stuff he's having to order. QMOS is when you damage out items. Well, most of the time, you know, the stuff is just taken up to the front and damaged out at the front, and guest service does that. Not him. Not him at all. So, honestly, he's not doing his job, and then he's saying that I'm not doing my job. He tried to sell me out, and yesterday, I was supposed to follow him, and he was supposed to show me what I was supposed to do. But in all reality, he didn't show me anything. He said, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. He just talked. He didn't say nothing, or he didn't show me. He just basically told me what he wanted me to do, not what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. But they have to realize that I'm having to also help out in other departments, which I told them today. I was like, you know, we've been short-staffed. You guys should know that. I'm having to do the morning shift work because it's not being done. I can't just leave it because the pools and stuff, it has to go out. We have to get that stuff on the shelf. And they're like, well, we didn't know anything about this, so like, we'll go talk to him. But I guarantee, I'm willing to bet my entire paycheck this next week, he's going to tell them, well, I've done my job. I set him up for success, which he didn't. He did not. And they probably will go with what he says because he's been there longer, and they say he's my superior, but then he's not because he's just a team member. He's no team leader at all. And thank God he's not, because he would make a shitty team leader. But anyways, I believe that is going to be the end of the video. I might end it when I defeat Bunker. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. And yeah, that's kind of what I have to deal with. And you know, in case you didn't catch, you know, where I work at Target. And a lot of the people, well, most of the people, I don't have a problem with. It's this guy in particular because he doesn't do anything, and yet he takes credit for everything. So it's not even that I hate working there. I love working at Target. I feel like it is the best job I have had yet. And I say yet not to be disrespectful, but I've only had a couple of jobs. But so far I am truly happy there. I'm proud to work there. And you know, they treat me really nice. So I want to say I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It means a lot to me, and if you want to, feel free to like the video, but you don't have to. It's just an additional optional thing there. And you know, if you like the series, I'm glad. I'm still uploading these because I feel like I should have some kind of content to add to my channel. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. My name is Cypher, and I will see you guys later.